Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Kryptonians out there, we just got our first official in-motion poster for James Gunn's Superman, which also has John Murphy's first teaser of the Superman score attached to it, as well as a separate little teaser for Thursday when the trailer's going to release, and I believe, it could be teasing the Fortress of Solitude. This is probably going to be a short video, just because, obviously, there's not too much for me to tackle here, other than just me wanting to, get my thoughts out there on what we've just got teased with. And, who knows, future Boba may pop up in here, because we know that the press are going to see the Superman trailer today. So the idea behind that is, once they've seen it, type up their thoughts. Maybe there might be some announcements of other things going on. More on that in just a second, by the way. It hypes up the trailer over the next few days for us to then see it as the public on Thursday. So guys, let's just get into my reaction and impressions to the first poster that we got with the score. And honestly, my hairs are standing on end right now. I am very, very happy with it. I know some of you may be like, oh, surprise, surprise, Boba. But no, really. When I first saw this, I was like, okay, really cool. A motion poster. Superman is kind of flying up, and the graphic or the, motion of the poster is kind of showing him constantly flying up. And the kind of tagline of the poster is look up, right? You look up and you see Superman, hope, all of that kind of tone to that messaging there. But then I realized that the Twitter video of the poster was muted. So I clicked the unmute button and I felt like I was going to heaven. And I mean that in a kind of half jokey sense, because the actual score teaser here from John Murphy is really angelic, very heavenly, but yet also hopeful, if you know what I mean, as you would kind of hope when you're doing a Superman score. And I trust you may get what I mean when I say that. Now, I don't know if I'm really playing it in this video, because as you guys know, with YouTube, things can get quite copyrighted with video footage, but I would say the main culprit is actually audio tracks. But honestly, as I'm listening to it again here, it is so beautiful. One thing that we want above anything else, and what we've wanted beyond set photos, the production teasers, the look at the suit, the cast announcements, is the feel of this movie. Sure, you may get that from design here and there, what James Gunn has said, but what I've always said about movies, and this is kind of needless to say, but music is so integral. But you apply things like the score, and it's just, that's what really ties the ribbon on the bow, completely. And this absolutely does that for James Gunn's Superman and David Corenswet here. It really, I would say, succeeds in giving me, personally, you may disagree with me, let me know down in the comments below, a Superman feel. Absolutely. But there is also one thing that helps aid John Murphy's score here. While you're hearing this humming, and this kind of beautiful orchestral kind of almost, wintry, silky glisten as it continues. Right as it kind of continues along, it feels a bit not only new, but also familiar. And that's because you hear, as it progresses on more and more, the John Williams Superman theme, which I know some people will be like, oh, they should have done that, but I think it's really nicely sewn in here. It's not like they're relying on it completely, but the humming gets to the point of na 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 na, and I loved that. It's subtly done there to the point of where I don't think people will miss it, but it's oh yeah. It's more of this homage, tribute, if you will. And I think if I was to speak for Gunn here, knowing how much he loves Superman, Christopher Reeve's Superman, to be honest, Christopher Reeve's Superman and the John Williams theme is quite unanimous with the identity of Superman, of course. It's kind of like how, there was essence of the classical Spider-Man theme in, recent Spider-Man scores as well, but still doing something new, if you know what I mean. So I think the DNA, he would say, he felt like it had to be incorporated in there somehow, while also obviously doing a new score at the same time. And I think that is, paying respect to the past, but also treading your own innovative stamp, but kind of creating this new thing, your own Superman at the same time. And I'm personally very, very happy with that. And obviously, hearing a little whispering element of the Williams theme in there just births this new Superman with such a good... I'm just listening. Honestly, it's on repeat right now on the Twitter page. And it's just, it's so good. And maybe it would be a stretch to say that there's a slight homage to the Man of Steel Hans Zimmer theme with those first few piano notes, but just slightly in different keys as it progresses throughout. This is what I mean. If you want to argue that, and then obviously mix it in with the, John Williams inspirations to this kind of overall love letter, and how both those themes are obviously Superman themes, but yet still with a third additional new John Murphy influence, and kind of mix it all together, it creates something both old but yet new. But let me know if you disagree with the Man of Steel theme being in there. But I think I can hear a little bit of tribute in there. Whereas the John Williams one at the end is the far more blatant. You can just imagine, I don't know if that will be in the opening of the film, but as I've always said, I'm sure this film will be quirky and upbeat and have a bit of levity to it in similar ways to how Christopher Reeve's Superman had that. But it will, just like how I've said with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, as ridiculous as they can be, not that I think Superman will be as ridiculous as those movies in humor. My point is, in those films, my God, do they have serious scenes. And with this, I can imagine a serious scene, or like one to be taken quite seriously, and the theme just comes on and it hits just like it's hitting right now for me, seeing Superman flying up there, but also just in combination with the two words they're going with, look up. Play this score. Do me a favor, play this score, and imagine looking up in the fictional DC universe and seeing David Corenswet Superman in the sky as you hit those final few notes in this motion poster teaser of the score. You can't tell me that doesn't give you Superman goosebumps. If it doesn't, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do for you, but it is ticking those boxes for me. I know I haven't commented too much about the suit or the pose that David Corenswet's in. I think it's just because we've seen the suit quite a bit now. Granted that this is in a image that they're happy to give to you guys, and believe it or not, I've already seen multiple comments saying, and I felt like tweeting out saying, oh, it's already happening, but a lot of posts saying, oh, this already looks better than the set pictures of the suit that we saw. And whether that's true or not, I don't know. I think it looks the same here. I mean, you can't even see much of the lower portion of the suit. Obviously, it doesn't look as creased here as it may have looked, where people really concentrate on that in various set photos, because he's, in quite a pose here as he's flying up with his arms down. You get a really good look at the belt there. But again, we've seen multiple good looks at this suit now. Now, Future Boba here, very quickly, quick shout out to DCU Updates on Twitter for noticing that this suit is actually a teeny tiny bit different. If you look at the crest on the Superman suit, you can actually see that the border, the edge around the crest is red. It's not yellow like we've seen it in the set photos, or that very first Superman suit logo reveal that James Gunn did way back on February 29th. Now, I don't know if this is an actual in-universe thing, because both suits are still remarkably the same, even down to the lines and whatnot. But yeah, just wanted to point that out. And I know a lot of people will probably say that this is probably the first look we should have got, compared to the one where we saw David Corenswet putting the Superman boots on. But either way, we've got this now, and I'm hoping, sure, we need to see the trailer on Thursday, but I am hoping that this may get some people to think, oh wait, I wasn't sure about this, but hearing the score and just seeing a little glisten of Superman flying up continuously in this motion poster on repeat, maybe is getting me a bit excited for Thursday. But of course, I'm not stupid. We do need to see that first trailer on Thursday. But if there's one thing that I have confidence in, is that, do you really think, I mean, I could be wrong, but do you really think that they would release a trailer that they haven't gone over 1,000 million times to give out the best look they could? Like the best possible marketing polish that could ever be approved by the highest paid marketing person out there. No, it's probably gonna look pretty awesome. So just as we're about to move on to the next thing, let me know what you think of that theme. Again, for me, I don't think it rips the John Williams theme. I think, a lot of naysayers will say that, but I think it gives tribute to it while doing its own thing. And that is, I think, a perfect love letter to Superman, and what helped obviously solidify Superman from the comic books to 1978 Superman on our silver screens today, and what's helped keep that character going, the love of that score. But it's still something old, but yet new. And I love that. But anyway, on top of this, right as this posted, I refreshed my page, and we got another post from the Superman page and from Gunn himself. And this is a teaser for the official teaser trailer coming Thursday. Now, what we see here is the camera rotating, right? And it's rotating towards this kind of metallic silver-esque Superman crest. So this is David Corenswet's Superman crest, the kind of Kingdom Come-inspired logo. And to me, this is blatantly the Fortress of Solitude. Now, it's probably the entrance to the Fortress of Solitude, giving maybe a little bit of a tribute to how some of the old Fortress of Solitude's entrances actually had a big entrance to the point of where Superman needed to fly up a massive key. Now, I don't think they're going to do that, but I think this will be the actual entrance. And the reason why I think this is the fortress is that you can also hear a bit of an audio clue there with a bunch of kind of whistling in the wind. And we know that they filmed in Norway in a very, very snowy location. So those little windy audio cues is probably a very, very windy Arctic where the fortress is located. And as you can see here, guys, teaser trailer Thursday. So it's kind of as I was saying at the beginning of the video, press is seeing it probably maybe as we're speaking right now. They're going to probably release some articles talking about the trailer ambiguously, not to give everything away. I don't know if I'm going to include those details in this video, just in case you're watching right now if I haven't covered it. In this video, I'll probably do an update video tomorrow, just going through whatever we've learned. And I say whatever we've learned because in those articles, we could be learning a bit more, as I spoke about in my previous news roundup, because also they posted a link to DCStudios.com saying sign up to get fan first updates on all things DC Studios. So they say, welcome to DC Studios Fan First. DC fans, sign up below to join DC Studios Fan First and receive the latest updates and insider info from DC Studios. Your email address is required, but if you provide a mailing address, you may receive some future surprises in your mailbox. But then they say, and this kind of makes me feel a bit like validated what I said in the previous video, we have lots of new projects and announcements coming soon. So sign up today and be among the first fans to be in the know. So I said, I was speaking to DC Film News, and we didn't necessarily think that, okay, the press are going to just go over and see the trailer, sure, and write an article about that. Okay, you could argue they could, and they may very well do that, but it would be a good time for Gunn to maybe do what he did in January of 2023, in where he unveiled the DCU Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters slate in that YouTube video. But if you remember, guys, there was also an in-person press event where you had all of the major players from all of the major trades taking notes to, write their paragraphs up in their articles over on Deadline, where they ran through what Lanterns was about, or, we got little extra details from Peter Safran and James Gunn on what Lanterns would be, with just a bit more information than what was said in the DCU Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters YouTube announcement video. Maybe we're going to get a little bit of an update on some future projects to be confirmed, such as maybe a few more details out of the DC Studios DCU Clayface movie that has now been officially greenlit, but maybe some other rumors that we've been hearing for a long time, such as Anna Nogueira's Teen Titans movie, maybe the Dead Man animated series, maybe the Blue Beetle animated series, maybe something else that we're not seeing coming, maybe the Bane and Deathstroke project. I'm not sure, but there could be a chance of that. And the fact that you have DC.com with this DCStudios.com link saying we have lots of new projects and announcements coming soon, maybe we will hear that before Thursday, so it doesn't maybe overcrowd or overshadow rather the Superman trailer release. So sign up to that DC Studios fan first thing if you want to know things first, or maybe just subscribe to the channel because me, I will always be covering it. But that is, I would say, the main bulk of stuff that we got out of today's Superman teasers, of which I was low-key expecting. Now, from Future Boba again, we've got a press release, apparently, for the first synopsis for Superman. Now, this is coming from DC Film News, and it says, James Gunn takes on the original superhero in the newly imagined DC Universe with a singular blend of epic action, humor, and heart, delivering a Superman who's driven by compassion and an inherent belief in the goodness of humankind. Well, that sounds like Superman to me. And now, guys, it is coming real. Like, I've honestly got the Superman track on loop in this headset right now. I'm feeling very giddy. It was a nice bonus to see what could possibly be the entrance of the Fortress of Solitude. And I only say possibly because it could be another door within the fortress. But yeah, like, this looks really, really cool. Seeing the kind of like alien-esque, right? It's not too alien, but you know, fortress entrance. And even the text saying Thursday, or look up, teaser trailer Thursday is a teeny bit reminiscent of the way they did text back in the Donna or Christopher Reeve Superman movie. Not that, again, I think they're trying to recreate it or anything, but just kind of little like love letters here and there weaved into the DNA of what Gunn is trying to do, which is old, but yet both new. And man, I think what encapsulates that most of all is the theme that is going on in my ears right now. I am in love. And one thing that I'm actually extraordinarily happy about, granted that this isn't a good statistic, I'm looking at multiple comment sections on multiple posts. So not just like DC fan accounts, but like the news outlet accounts posting, hey, here's the new Superman motion teaser with John Murphy's teaser score. And people are saying it's beautiful. The music, it's beautiful. I will be seated. People seem to really like the sound of this. And one more time, just imagining the most majestic cinematic shot of David Corenswet in the sky over Metropolis to this theme. Just... And it only makes me begin to imagine what could be in that trailer. Now, yes, obviously, this is setting up my expectations quite a bit. So let's hope that trailer delivers, because I know how easy it is to get this hyped over a trailer. Maybe a bit too much. But hey, I can't help myself. So, guys, just know, on top of my Creature Commandos breakdown that's coming out on Thursday, I'll try and post that as early as I can. I will be doing a breakdown video for the Superman trailer. The only thing I will say is if it releases super late my time in the UK, I will do a reaction, and then I'll have to do my in-depth trailer breakdown the next day. But if it releases at a decent time for me, sometime in the evening, like 5, 6 p.m., then I'll go straight into an in-depth breakdown. But just don't go mad at me if I end up doing the in-depth Boba Rambly talk the next day. But I'll get something out for sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Kryptonians out there, let me know what you think of today's updates, to say the least. I'm going to shut up now. Give this video a like to show your hype for Superman. And until next time, thank you so much for watching and supporting. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I'll see all of you Kryptonians in the next video. Goodbye.